Can I just ask you, to explain what you said yourself? There is no answer for this conduct. What do you exactly mean by that?
By the time we will finish this interview, another baby will be killed in Gaza. By the time that you will finish your show, there will be another 2 women killed in Gaza. How long can this last? Israel had the full right to go for this campaign, for this war, but there must be limits, and we crossed them so long time ago. But above all, answering your question, where do we aim to? What will it be any better for Israel's security if another 20,000 Palestinians will be killed in Gaza? If another 500,000 people will lose their homes? What does this contribute for the security of Israel? We have to realize that the goals that Israel had declared are unachievable, or at least partly unachievable. And we should concentrate now about creating a new reality and not killing and killing for the purpose of killing.
Gideon, I want to get into that in a moment, but to answer and to illustrate what you just said about more babies, more women being killed, there is the latest, and we have to say, graphic video that's coming in from Gaza today, resulting from airstrikes last night. The hospital at Al-Aqsa there in Gaza says 57 people were killed, nearly 70 injured, at least 10 of those were children, the hospital says. So the government keeps saying they're doing their best to avoid civilian death. The US keeps doing a shuttle diplomacy, which seems principally aimed at minimizing civilian deaths. Not only that, but also to minimize the chance of an expanded war. But in your mind, having covered so many of these Israel-Gaza wars, what is the point? What is the purpose 3 months in of this, as you put it, very heavy death toll? What is the strategic point?
I doubt very much if there is one. First of all, everyone is paying his lip service. The Americans, the Israelis, they do their best. The Americans ask gently Israel to refrain from killing civilians, but the outcome is very clear. It is a bloodbath, and you cannot ignore it. The only one who ignores it is Israeli media, by the way, if you let me make a remark about them, because the Israelis are the only people in the world right now who are not exposed at all to what's going on in Gaza. Nothing. We were always laughing at the Russian TV covering the war in Ukraine. Ours is much worse, because here it is voluntarily. Nobody dictates us not to show the suffer and the punishment of Gaza, and Israelis are not exposed to it. But that's just a, by the way, remark. There are goals. The Prime Minister had declared them, namely releasing the hostages and crashing Hamas. After 3 months, I can tell you we are not getting closer to both of them. I think about the releasing the hostages, which from my point of view must be in first priority, and they don't go together. I think that here we are going farther and farther. We are much more distant now than a few weeks ago from releasing the hostages, and this should bother any person with conscience. But by the end of the day, the occupation defines Israel more than any other thing. The apartheid defines the regime of Israel more than any other thing, and we cannot continue with this blindness. Israelis are living very self-content, happy about their lives, which are usually quite good, not in times of war, obviously, and they are not even curious to know what is happening half an hour away from our homes. And half an hour away from our homes, even before this horrible war, there is an inhuman reality which must come to its end one day. And as long as we'll continue with this blindness, we will never get to any good place. We Israelis.